gorgeous soul friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Hannah. Welcome to my channel, and it's such an honor to be a part of your wondrous earth experience today. So we're going to discuss the topic of desire because I think that this is something so important to talk about within the manifestation world. And it's a topic that is heavily debated. There are a lot of varying opinions on this subject, not just within the manifestation world, but within philosophical circles as a whole. So this video is really just going to be my opinion on the matter. This is really just what I've derived from the things that I've studied, my observations, and all of that. So to start it off, you already have what you seek in the form of desire. You cannot desire what you cannot have. Let me say that again, because there are a lot of people who will try to convince you otherwise due to their own personal limitation. You cannot desire what you cannot have, okay? You wouldn't be able to conceive of it if you could not have it. There are often people who think that it's wrong to desire things like financial abundance. They think that you can only manifest what you need. This is complete bullshit, okay? This is not true. It may be true for them, and if that's the reality that they want to create, then so be it. But it doesn't have to be true for you. If we only manifested what we needed, then there wouldn't be people in the world who have an overwhelming amount of abundance, inconceivable amounts of money and resources. You are allowed to have more than what you need. You're allowed to have way more than what you need. You are allowed to be comfortable. You are allowed to thrive, okay? There is an overwhelming amount of abundance in the world, and there is more than enough for us all to prosper and thrive, okay? And your aspect of abundance is just waiting for you to claim it. It's there within you in the form of desire. In the same regard, there are often people who think that manifesting a specific person is wrong, or desiring a specific person is wrong, because they see it as you manipulating their free will. And by that logic, if you even want to call it that, then asking somebody on a date and them saying yes could be manipulating somebody's free will. Okay, seeing a random person at a bar and thinking that they're cute and going up to them and exchanging numbers and chatting each other up and you asking them on a date and them saying yes and you guys going on a date, that could be considered manipulating their free will by that absurd logic. Because we're manifesting all the time. Every single relationship you have had, be it romantic, friendship, or otherwise, you have manifested those people, either consciously or unconsciously. When you're manifesting a relationship with a person that you don't know, even if you're just idealizing someone, the perfect person in your mind, you're manifesting a specific person. That person already exists somewhere out in the world. You're just aligning with them. So yes, you can manifest specific people, okay? It's not manipulation of free will. Free will is one of the biggest illusions that mankind has ever known. Everybody is you pushed out. We are constantly assigning traits and qualities of character to other people around us. And oftentimes it's happening on such an unconscious level that we don't even realize it most of the time. And sometimes we auto-assign traits to people from a place of trauma, okay? Like people who assume that everybody cheats and then they proceed to attract people who confirm that bias and perpetuate that belief. We are always manifesting specific people based on our beliefs, based on our conceptions of self. There's also a lot of debate in this community around manifesting someone who is already in a relationship. I personally stay away from people in relationships because those are just my morals, guys. There are a lot of fish in the sea. There's plenty of ideal people out there who are awesome, fit every single quality you could possibly want in a partner, while simultaneously being single and available. And you guys can sit here and say that that's a limiting belief, but to me, it's more of a limiting belief to condense yourself down to needing a single person as opposed to applying those qualities of character that you desire in that person and creating somebody else. Because there are a lot of fish in the sea, guys. There's a lot of people out there in the world. And to condense yourself down and box yourself into needing just one person is a limiting belief. So that's just my 2 cents. Of course, it is possible to manifest somebody who's already in a relationship, but just because you can doesn't mean you should. Okay, if you really feel like you just need somebody who is already in a relationship, you can set the intention for a third-party removal. You can set the intention that the third party doesn't exist, and you can just go about your life with that story playing in your mind. You don't go and obsess over this person, stalking their profile, stalking their person's profiles. You don't go and try to manipulate shit in the 3D and home wreck. You don't need to manipulate anything in the 3D. You don't need to manipulate anyone. You don't need to manipulate anything. Okay? You just set the intention. You set that new story in your mind. You leave the 3D alone, and you go about your life with that story playing in your mind. And you live your life unbothered until it manifests. To me, I personally don't see it as a good thing that somebody leaves their partner for me. Okay, I think that is a bad quality. I wouldn't want to have a partner that so easily is swayed out of their relationship. That's just me. Sometimes we manifest things that we desire and we realize that it wasn't actually what we wanted. And that's okay. It happens. It's happened to me. It's happened to other people that I know. There's no shame in it. It happens. That's life. We try things and we either love them or we move on to experience other things if we don't. And Neville Goddard talks about life being a consistent state of desiring and then selecting, desiring and then selecting. So if you are not getting your desires, it's because you are not consciously conditioning yourself to select the realities where those desires have materialized. And you need to go within your mind and saturate yourself with the desire, with the experience of having the desire, make it normal for you, whether it's through affirmations or visualization or gratitude, until it materializes. You are allowed to desire things strictly for the sake of desiring them. Okay, you don't need an explanation. You don't need a reason as to why you want a specific person, thing, or experience. And trust me, there are a lot of fake woke people out there who will try to convince you that you don't actually know what you want and that you should just wander aimlessly throughout life, accepting whatever the fuck life throws at you because it's meant to be. We were gifted with willpower for a reason. We were gifted with a sense of purpose for a reason. We have a fire that burns for our goals, dreams, and desires for a reason. Do not let people with an underactive sacral try to tell you any other way. All right? Because in my opinion, that's where that belief comes from. This idea that we need to rid ourselves of desire is religious deception. And it's a gross misrepresentation of these teachings. Because when you're in a state of consciously selecting the timelines that you want to align to and create, then that sense of longing kind of goes out the window. Because anytime a desire comes up, you know that you can create it. So there is no longing. There's just proactivity and intention. And the more you explore your creative power, you'll come to find that much of spirituality is just a distraction and it's deception from your ability to create. So moving on to the next aspect of this subject matter, how do you turn your desires into material experiences? If you are filled with desire for something, then congratulations, you already have step 1 down. The first step in creation is to desire something. You could see your desire like planting a seed in the ground. The next step in this process is to saturate your mind with the feeling of being fulfilled by the desire. So Neville Goddard says, praise and thanksgiving are to one's desires what rain and sun are to the unseen seeds in the soil of the earth. I love this quote because I'm a gardener, as many of you know. So if you visualize your desire like a seed, your inner praise and thanksgiving are the sustenance and sunlight that nourishes your seed to sprout. Anytime your desire appears in your mind, think about that desire as if it's already been fulfilled and saturate yourself with the feeling of being fulfilled by that desire. You have to impress it as much as possible in your mind. And I've talked about repetition on my channel before. I think it is a very powerful, if not the most powerful tool for manifestation, for anything really. When you want to impress anything in your mind, for multiplication tables, exercising, all of that stuff, what do? We repeat certain actions over and over and over again until it becomes impressed. So the same thing goes for our manifestations and for materializing our desires. You want to impress a certain feeling of fulfillment from that desire onto yourself over and over and over and over again until it manifests materially. And sometimes it takes practice. It takes a little bit of practice at first, especially if this is not something that you're used to doing. You may have to kind of go and flip thoughts a few times. And if you begin to waver and you think about your desire in an anxious or limiting way, don't worry, you didn't screw anything up. Because that's, kind of the concern of a lot of people too. They start to spiral or they start to think anxiously about their desire, and then they're worried that they ruined the whole thing. You didn't, okay? You can get back up. You had a moment, brush off, okay? We can move on. Every moment is a new opportunity to create and to flip thoughts. It helps to have an affirmation, a vision, or a feeling that you can use in those moments to flip the thoughts from negative to positive. An example, if you have a bill that's coming up in 2 weeks and you're kind of worried about how it's gonna get paid, you're not really sure if you're gonna get paid in time, and you're going back and forth, like, where's the money gonna come from, yada, 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 spiraling down these thoughts of lack, etc. You can use an affirmation like, the bill has already been paid. It's already been taken care of. The money has already hit my bank account. I already have the money there. It's already done. Or a vision of you paying the bill, or a feeling of excitement or fulfillment from the bill already being paid. You would just take the anxious thought and flip it with whatever method works for you. And you commit to this until it manifests materially. Okay, persistence is key. That is not just a cliche for no reason, all right? You transmute the feeling of desire into an internal feeling of fulfillment from that desire. So the burning sense of longing that you have for a specific thing, person, or experience, you transmute that in those moments where you feel that longing. You turn that feeling into fulfillment from that desire. It's the internal alchemy that has to happen in order for you to be successful with creating that desire. You already are that which you desire, okay? That's why you can even conceptualize the feeling to begin with. It's already within you. It's just about normalizing the experience until it becomes real. And for all of those people out there who just love playing devil's advocate, and I know I'm gonna get this question in the comments, nobody actually desires to murder another person, okay? Nobody actually desires to kill somebody else or hurt somebody else. Neville Goddard talks about it himself. A man who murders another man never actually wanted to kill that man to begin with. He just desired to be free of that man and didn't see any other way to make it happen. So murder comes from a mindset of limitation. In my opinion, all things considered immoral come from a mindset of limitation. And when I say immoral, I'm particularly referring to things that go against the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have done unto you, or will unto others as you would have willed upon you. Because you are not the only one with this ability. Be mindful of what you're willing into your experience. Of course, everybody has their own moral code that they abide to. So, you're gonna figure out how to merge this work with that moral code. But I just kind of wanted to discuss this aspect of desire because this is something that gets debated a lot within this community. But you already are that which you desire. It's why you can even conceptualize the feeling of that desire to begin with, because it's already within you. It's just about normalizing that until it materializes, until it densifies into 3D. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in and connecting with me today. I'm so endlessly appreciative for every single one of you. Check out my book, guys, the Big Book of Affirmations on Amazon. It's an interactive book that utilizes the power of your words to help you create. If you want one-on-one guidance or a personal subliminal tape catered to your desires, you can check out my website down below, madamdevote.com. But that is all for today. Be safe and prosperous. I love you all so much. Bye-bye.